Fruity Cutie. What's up? My name is Jeanette, also known as Ms.FitVegan. Today we have an amazing guest. Her name is LaShonda, and I have had the pleasure of meeting LaShonda through my private community, and I'm so grateful I did. And I'm going to introduce you guys to her and everything she does. Her name here is Primarily Plant-Based Vegan. Primarily Plant-Based Vegan. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. To get into it today. So let me bring her on and let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's see. Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just still can't see you. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. What is going on? We see you. You know what? Guess what? I think we're going to do this interview and you're just not going to see me.
Or
Is that
I can
crazy?
try one, or I can try it on, maybe I can try it on the iPhone instead. Maybe that'll work.
Oh, you're on an Android.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. No.
Let me try it.
No.
Let me try it one more time. Maybe
Yeah.
come in with the iPhone. If not, then we'll go
Okay.
with it, right?
Okay,
I
boo.
want to see
Yeah,
a
try it
beautiful
on the
face.
iPhone. Yeah, because Androids, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, all right. So you'll leave. Okay, I'll stall. I'll stall. So guys, I just want to tell everyone. Let me bring you a little closer. Okay, so I want to tell everyone a few things. Number one, I don't know if you know this, but you are a beautiful, magnificent child of the universe, and I'm here to remind you that you have unlimited potential today. Do me a favor, close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. Yeah, you. Yeah, you, boo. Close them eyes. Take a deep breath in and release. Now, I just want you to take one moment to picture yourself the way you want to be. I want you to picture yourself the way you want to be. The body you want to have, the life you want to have, where you want to live. That is the real you. That is the real you. And you can open your eyes now because I know they weren't closed anyway. Do me a favor, do that a few times a day and you'll start to get familiar and comfortable with your higher self. You see, your goals are your goals because that's your higher self wanting to come out. And today we're going to talk to my friend LaShonda, who actually did this. She had major health issues. She was overweight. She had all of these issues where, it wasn't going to change on its own. She had to work to make them change. And we're going to find out how she did it, how she got on a healthy vegan, raw vegan lifestyle. And thank you very much, Richard. I would have done longer, but LaShonda's been here for a few minutes, so I didn't want to take up too much time. But yes, I have lots of meditations on YouTube. And oh, here we go.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Never trust an Android. No. Okay. We did it. We made it. And I want to invite everyone. Everyone needs to pay attention right now because LaShonda has a story to tell and she gonna change your life. Literally. So LaShonda, please tell us right now, what did you do with your life and your health through a healthy vegan diet? So take us back to when what were you dealing with health-wise?
Wow. So I'll take you back a few years. So I would say at the beginning of 2020. Yes. So that was the year all of us remember. So at the beginning of 2020, I was adamant not to get sick, right? Everyone else was kind of locked in at home. They couldn't go to work, everything's closed down. And I made a conscious decision that I did not want to get sick. So I was going to make sure that my health was up to par and I was going to work out. And so what I ended up doing is I was working out. I was training for a triathlon. I was working out 3 times a day. I was eating super healthy, primarily a vegan diet at the time. And I was in the best shape of my life, absolute best shape of my life. And then I got sick. And so it went from me being at this optimal level of health and wellness to not being able to do anything, to literally not being able to breathe, being on inhalers and breathing treatments, walking down the stairs, I'd be out of breath. I had LASIK surgery, so I had 20/20 vision prior to getting sick. and my vision was blurry. I ended up in bifocals and contacts again because of it. There was issues with my reproductive system. There was issues with, I was having hives and breaking out, and my hair, I have very long hair. My hair was falling out in clumps. Lots of aches and pains. I had TMJ. There was just this laundry list of things that people were talking about on the news, but there was other things that I was experiencing that they weren't. So it was a really scary time for me. And the one thing that was good for me was that I had been proactive in my health and wellness. So I had already set up an appointment with a plant-based doctor, which happened to be Dr. Clapper.
Oh, Dr. Clapper.
Yes.
That's
And
my,
sorry,
that's my number one celebrity crush. Sherry, please, I want to interview him. Okay, sorry. Continue.
And the thing about it is I set it up prior to getting sick, so I had no idea. So the day that he met with me was about 4 or 5 days after I got sick. And he was supposed to just go through a normal routine check with me. It was telehealth, you know, because of the times. And he heard something in my voice and he stopped me. He was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. So he used to practice, I guess, more in the respiratory system as a doctor. And so he gave me some really good tips on how to get my lungs stronger, as well as, you know, how to clean up my diet so that I can get to a place where, you know, the diet, my body will start healing itself again. So that was one of the best things that I did for myself, is setting up, being proactive is something I'm always doing. But in this particular case, it truly helped me. So I'll fast forward a little bit. So that was the beginning. So that happened in 2021, March of 2021, and when I got sick.
Can you give us one tip that he told you to, like, that helped you with your healthy vegan diet?
Okay, so there's two things. So for just a plant-based vegan diet, the one thing that he recommended was that if you were having cravings or if you ever felt hungry, he was like, always just eat a baked sweet potato. He was like, once a week, make a huge batch of baked sweet potatoes, have them in your fridge, and if you ever feel hungry or if you're going out somewhere, just grab them. So that was the first thing. Because I had been through this plant-based vegan journey for such a long time, there wasn't a lot of other things that he was telling me, but that was the major thing for me. And then the other thing was having to do with my lungs and some breathing treatments and stuff that he gave me. But there's some other things that, as time goes on, I was able to kind of pick up on, and has helped me.
Amazing.
Back then I was practicing, like I said, permanently plant-based. If I would have anything that was not plant-based, it would be for dinner, and it was very small. So I went through, it was March of 2021 when I got sick, and nothing was helping. Nothing was helping me. And mind you, I transitioned back to an all vegan diet again. I didn't like processed foods, so I wasn't eating the processed foods as well. And nothing was working. it was July of 2023. So almost 31 months later, I was still sick. I was still on a list of medications. I pulled them up this morning. It was like 25 medications, steroids, injections, treatments. Nothing was working. And I wasn't improving. I was part of a study as well. Nothing was.
Sorry, you were on a plant-based diet?
I was on a plant-based diet at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And I wasn't seeing improvement. And I had been, like I said, I was running, I was swimming, I was biking prior to that 3 times a day. And now I couldn't even walk down the street without carrying the inhaler with me, being out of breath, and just feeling like I'm just getting, I'm not getting any better. And I'm 45. And I just felt like I was twice my age. It just was a miserable existence.
Oh, wait. I lost the audio. Can you hear me? I lost audio. Can you hear me? Okay, wait. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear LaShonda? Can you hear any of us? Can you hear me now? Yeah, now I can. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Oh no.
What were you saying? I'm so sorry. We're gonna get it together.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it together. Okay.
So, okay, let me speed up the story. So I started veganism in 2006. And the way that I started was I was watching a PBS special, and all they were talking about was parasites, chicken parasites specifically. And I had chicken that day. And it was one documentary after the next, after the next, after the next. And in that moment, I was like, okay, I can't eat chicken anymore. And now I know too much. What am I going to do? And back then, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have TikTok, you didn't have, people really weren't using the internet much. There were blogs. And I was following these people who were doing juice fasting. And that's all I knew. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to stop eating meat and I'm going to go raw because I knew I didn't have a juicer. So I was like, I'm just going to have to go raw, just eat everything raw until I can get a juicer. And that's what I did. And so when I got sick, I knew that during that time that I ate raw, I felt better. So my plan was, okay, July of this year, I'm going to go raw. And I'm going to go raw until I feel better. And in my mind, I thought it was going to be maybe 30 days. And it's been over 100 days, almost 120 days now. But within 2 weeks, I was feeling better. Within 2 weeks, my lungs were feeling better. I was able to get to a place where I was walking again. Almost all of the illness, the issues that I was having were gone. The vision is still in and out, but everything else was gone. And so I was feeling so good. I was like, okay, I'm going to continue on this. And so now I've just continued with it. So yeah, that's the story in a nutshell.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So
Yeah.
now, okay, so you were eating like a healthy vegan diet, right?
Mhm.
So what do you think is the major difference that you did in your diet? Was it mostly cooked food? And what are some of the things that you think were preventing you from releasing all those health issues?
Yeah. So before, I would say maybe the only cooked meal I would have would be dinner.
Mm.
So I was doing a vegan diet that was minimal processed foods, and then my dinner would be cooked. And I just couldn't figure out how to get out of the cycle. My body, I knew that I don't really believe in detoxing too much. It might be controversial, but I feel like if you're eating right, your body's always going to clean itself and do what it needs to do. And so I needed to put my body in the state where it was going to do that naturally. And so I believe that the living foods that I'm eating now, what it did, it cleaned up my gut, right? And part of, some of the literature that's out there for people who've been sick is that if you clean your gut, then you'll be able to cure some of the issues that you're dealing with. At least you're starting with a clean slate. And so I truly believe that's what helped me, is that I needed to clean my gut. I needed my gut flora to be very healthy in order for the rest of my body to heal. And I feel like that's why within 2 weeks, I was able to see, it wasn't even 2 weeks. I think it was like on day 8, day 9, that I could physically see and feel a difference in me
Wow.
after 30,
Wow.
right?
Yeah. Incredible, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if people knew, and that's why I'm so grateful to people like you who are putting this out there and getting the word out that this is
Yeah.
major. There's a way to heal, and it's much more simpler than we think. So tell us now, what do you eat? Like, what does a day in the life look like for LaShonda now?
So for me, I'm a character. I like routine. I can eat
A
the same
creature of habit.
creature of
Yes,
habit.
me too.
I can eat the same thing every day. I really can. And for me, it helps because I don't have to think. It's that decision paralysis, right? I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat because I already know what it is. So normally in the mornings, for years, I've always gotten up in the morning and had 32 ounces of warm lemon water to start my day. So I hydrate first thing in the morning.
Why do
And
you do that?
I do it because I've never been a coffee drinker, and I don't really do caffeine. I used to do green tea every once in a while, but it energizes me in the morning. Usually when I wake up, instead of breaking my fast with food, I'm breaking my fast with water because I'm needing to hydrate my body because I'm getting dehydrated throughout the night. Another reason why I used to do it is because I used to run in the morning or bike in the morning. So I needed to make sure that I was, fully hydrated to be able to bike for an hour or two or run for an hour or two in the mornings. And so it just became habit. And so in the mornings, I'll do 32 ounces of water. And then a few hours later, I may have a smoothie. I will be honest, during this last 100 plus days, I haven't done smoothies and juices much at all. I prefer whole foods because I just want to chew my food. It takes longer. It allows me time to think and digest and do all the things it needs to do. So I just prefer it. Usually during lunch, I've been experimenting during lunch. So prior to being 100% raw, lunch would always be a salad. But now that I'm raw, my dinners are salads. So lunch is usually more like, well, I guess it's still a salad. They're usually like lettuce tacos, or I'll do what I call a grazing plate, where I'll just cut up a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables and just like have like a huge plate full of them and just, just snack on it for the next hour or two as I'm working or, doing work around the house or watching TV or whatever.
Yes, yes. Now, people don't know this yet, but you're a bit of a chef, okay? For like really, really, because I mean, the things you send me, the plates that you make, she makes it sound a grazing plate. No, it's like a five-star raw vegan gourmet plate. That's what she does. And so tell people now, how do you come up with recipes? Like, how do you get inspired and how do you know what to put together? Were you a chef before this?
No, so I'm actually an attorney. I'm an in-house counsel for a company.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna
when
watch my words from now on. Okay.
when I was in law school, I needed a stress reliever. So I had two. One was going to the gym and working out, and the other was cooking. So I enjoy, it's my way to relieve stress. It's also a way to express my creativity. So prior to going raw this time, I didn't even want to cook. I didn't want to be in the kitchen. I had so much brain fog and fatigue that I just didn't have the energy to do it. But as I, progressed in my raw journey this time, I have such an abundance of energy that I need something to do with it. And the
Mm.
creativity is there, the energy is there. And so I just go in the kitchen sometimes and I look and see what I have. I just start, tinkering with things. Or, I'm more in tune now with what my body needs. So my body will tell me it's craving salty, it's craving savory. Oh, it wants something sweet today. It feels like it wants this combination of these things, which makes no sense to me. But then I put them together and then it satisfies me. So there really isn't a rhyme or reason to it. Some of the recipes that I've shared with you are things that I've actually made over the years and just haven't had the energy or the time or just didn't even want to do anymore. But now I find myself in the kitchen all the time. It's fun, right?
Yeah. Well,
I
when you know what you're doing, it's fun. And you know what you're doing. Guys, she knows
Yeah.
what she's doing. Tell us, you made these wraps the other day. These like pepperoni. What were they? So good.
So they are like nori. So basically they're nori wraps. So it's raw nori, which I didn't realize there's regular nori and then there's raw nori. There's roasted and there's raw. So
Right. Toasted,
there's raw nori,
right.
toasted, yeah,
Right.
toasted and roasted nori and raw. They taste the same to me. Um, so it's raw nori stuffed with a seed-based kind of like a pate. So it's a little pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. To give it a bright red color, I usually use red bell peppers, jalapenos, beets, and then some seasonings in it. And then I put it in the dehydrator for a little bit. And that's it. So those are like a good little snack that I have when I need to like grab something really quick, or if I'm on a road trip, or if I'm going out of town. I've traveled a lot during these last 100 days. So, that's something I can grab really quick to have on the plane, to have in the car. If I'm out at a restaurant with a group, I can take that with me and just add it into the salad, like the basic salad that you get at the restaurant, so I can feel a little bit more satiated and full.
Yeah, you're really good at living a healthy vegan lifestyle in the real
Mm.
world. And I want to know some tips and tricks for that. So that's like a big problem for people. They can't seem to socialize as a raw vegan, and you seem to be able to be doing it effortlessly. You go out with people that are not raw, you're traveling all around for work, for pleasure. What are some tips that you can give to people to stay raw during traveling?
So I think the biggest tip is just you need to be prepared. And I think what happens is most people don't want to prepare that much in advance. They don't want to meal prep. They don't want to think about it. They just want the results, right? So for me, it's preparing. I'll give you a quick example. I had a 2-day conference and I was able to drive. So I bought a case of water. I bought some coconut water with me. So I made sure I had all, our hydration taken care of. And then I cut and package all of my salads. So just in case they didn't have a salad there, or it's just romaine and how the house salads are, right? I had my own. I make sure, and another thing that I prepare for too is the cravings. So you need to know what your cravings are. You need to know what your triggers are. You may be someone who likes crunchy and salty because you like chips. Make sure you have a vegan or raw alternative for that. If you're at a conference, what's going to happen? I'm at the conference in the middle of the day. What are they serving? Cookies. They're serving all of this, chips and things, that people have bags everywhere. Even the healthy snacks that they have are not healthy for me in my current diet. So as everyone else is munching on their chips and they're munching on their pretzels, I had some, what did I have? I had some dehydrated, no, they weren't dehydrated. They were air dried mangoes, apples, because they're crunchy, they're crispy.
Oh,
and
the freeze dried.
Yeah, yes, the freeze dried. Yes. So I had those.
So good.
The savory, just like I was talking about the nori wraps. The nori wraps are good for the savory things when I have a savory craving. If you crave chocolate or sweets or something creamy or something textured, find the alternative that's raw or vegan and have that with you. Even now, if I leave my home and I go to the grocery store, or I'm going out, let's say I have to drive an hour to the grocery store because, that's the best one. Well, as I make sure I have a cooler in my car all the time. I always have water. I always have coconut water. I always have my snacks, my go-to snacks. There's always seeds and dried fruit in the car, a fresh apple in the car because they can last a few days, oranges. So there's always something around so that I'm never tempted to grab something that I don't need. Or you're stuck in traffic for hours, and then you just get hungry and you acquiesce. I make sure that I always have something there for myself so that I don't stumble accidentally, right?
Yeah. I don't know what acquiesce means, but it sounds good. I want to start using it. I acquiesce all the fucking time. Listen, LaShonda, that what you just said is like what people don't want to do. So now, so people need to understand what she just did is she laid out the roadmap to you getting your life together. You have to prioritize. You see, like it's not an accident that she's on day what day are you on? Or we stop counting?
What's today's date? The 25th, 24th?
I think it's the 25th.
Yeah, it's like 115.
Yeah. There's a reason why she's on day 115 and you can't even do one goddamn day raw. The reason is because of what she just said. She prioritizes. It's not an accident she's raw. It's not an accident that I'm raw. And she's so right. Like, that's exactly what I do. I have said it for years. Don't leave the house without something. Because you know what? You could get stuck in the elevator. Literally. You go to the mailbox. I bring oranges to the mailbox, LaShonda, okay? And people make fun of me. What do you say to the people? Yeah, Sybil's another one. So we got a lot of fruity cuties in the house right now. So LaShonda is part of my private community. That's how we met. And now we're friends. And we went to the farmer's market the other day. And I love her. And by the way, the snacks you gave me, oh my God, they're so good. And Awa, my roommate, who will never go raw, she loves them too. And she won't ever eat anything raw. Like she's like against raw, but like
I'll make another batch for you all. I'll make a batch.
Loves the flavorful food. Me, I'm like, oh, I love grapes. I love, watermelon. She likes the savory flavors, and you do it so good. And it's so simple too, what you do. So now we got a lot of fruity cuties in the house. And I just wanted to, LaShonda, I want you to please, what do you say to people, like friends and family, that call your diet extreme or call your way of living extreme? Because I'm sure people have pointed out, like, this is an extreme diet. What do you say to them?
Honestly, this time around, I haven't had that no one's really said that. And part of it is because I let them know why I'm doing it. And I think that's what's missing is sometimes we don't have a why that's strong enough. Sometimes the why is vanity. Oh, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to fit into this dress. I have this event, or, I'm just doing it because my friends are doing this challenge. My why is so strong. My why literally is me being able to breathe, right? And so when people see me, they're like, okay, every time I see you, you're eating a salad. Like, you never have anything cooked in it. And they notice these things, right? And I'm thinking, I don't think I would have noticed these things if it was me looking at someone else. But soon as they ask the question, I'll let them know. Yes, no, I have not eaten, I don't eat cooked foods right now. This is why. And I let them know my story. Once they hear my story, they're on board because there's no opposition to me getting to my optimal healthy state, right? I will also say that, so for years, I would do raw twice a year anyway. I always did raw every year. And during those times, people would ask, and I used to run, like I would run long distance, like relay races, and everyone else has all this junk food. And they're like, what is this? And what they would see, I wouldn't get the questions because they would see how well I was doing. So when everyone else was cramping after their runs, I wasn't. When everyone else was sweating profusely, I wasn't, because I was on 100% raw foods. And back then I wasn't eating nuts and seeds during that time. So they really could see like how well I was doing with the foods, and I wasn't doing anything else, right? But I would say anyone who's dealing with family, friends, coworkers, whomever, who are criticizing what you're eating, well, you don't owe anybody an explanation, right? First of all, you don't. They don't owe you an explanation of why they're eating what they're eating. But I take it as an opportunity to kind of educate people and let them know, not judge them, not try to turn them into a vegan or a raw vegan, but just let them know, this is why I eat the way I eat, and this is what it's doing for me. And I've just never had that real pushback. I think one instance where people usually have these pushbacks is when they're in the big gatherings or at restaurants. And a lot of people who eat this way, especially if you're a plant-based vegan or you're a raw vegan, a lot of us just decide not to go out to social events because, oh, that restaurant has nothing for me to eat. I will say it's a little trickier raw than it is plant-based or vegan.
Yeah.
But when I was just plant-based or vegan, it was easy for me. I would call the restaurants before I went there. I would look at the menu, then I would call the restaurant and I would ask them, is the chef willing to make me a custom meal? I've only had them say no once. I would.
Wow. That's a good tip. Wait,
Yeah.
you call, you ask, how does the conversation go exactly?
Yeah.
Because I've never done that.
So I would just call, so first of all, I go online, I look at the menu. So I'm conscious about what I do. I look at the menu and I read every single item on the menu. I'm reading it because I want to know what ingredients they have in the kitchen. So even though there's a steak, the steak has asparagus, it has onions, it has all these other things. It has a peppercorn dressing, right? That's a house-made dressing. So I know they have these ingredients in-house. So then once I see that, I'll call them on the phone and just ask them, I'm coming to your restaurant. I don't see anything on the menu that I can eat. Is the chef willing to make me a meal? To order a custom meal.
Yeah.
And like I said, they will almost every single time they said yes. I've had one time say no. When I get to the restaurant, before I sit down, I tell them, hey, I called ahead. The chef was willing to make me a custom meal. Can I meet with the chef? Then I meet with the chef. We go through the menu together and I tell them what my requirements are. So for a very long time, I practiced nutritarianism, which is Dr. Furman's way of eating. So that's no salt, no oil, no sugar, which is really tough sometimes, right?
At a restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would tell the chef, here are all the ingredients. I put every vegetable and fruit that you have, nut and seed, into a dish for me, but do not use sugar, oil, or salt. The best meals I've ever had in my life have come from chef created meals that I've asked him to make. The best meals.
I didn't know you could do that. That's that
Yeah.
lawyer in you, like just like thinking outside
Yeah.
the box and being resourceful. And like, I didn't even know you could do that. I've never
Yeah.
ever thought that you could meet with a chef.
Mhm.
Whoa. How far in advance do you go to the restaurant for that? I mean, that's
Sometimes it's the same day. Like, I mean, you could be out with your friends, like, oh yeah, let's go out and eat, and you have to figure out what you want to eat. As soon as I walk in, I'll tell them.
yeah.
And here's a secret. You know, I'm not one to lie or to exaggerate the truth, but think about it this way. Your diet is your choice. Most people choose this lifestyle because of, there's ethical reasons, but ultimately they want to live a healthy life. They want their body to be in its optimal state, right? So this is a health decision and health choice. So if you had a child who was allergic to peanuts, when you go into the restaurant, you're going to tell the chef, don't use peanuts in the dish. You're not embarrassed by that. Your friends aren't making fun of that. You don't hesitate to ask for that. So why do we do the same thing for ourselves, right? Treat this as this is an allergy. I'm allergic to milk. I'm allergic to dairy. My body does not like it. It has a bad reaction to it. I'm allergic to meat. I'm allergic to whatever it is. You don't have to go into a story now because most chefs understand. You got people who have nut allergies, gluten allergies, they understand that. Only thing you can do is make the request and they can say no. If they say no, then that's a restaurant you cannot eat in and you can't trust to prepare your food for you. And if that
I love it.
happens, hopefully the people that are with you will respect you enough to leave with you and find a restaurant where you can eat.
Listen, this is like a game-changing advice. Okay, leave it down below. If you leave the cherry emoji if you have the balls to do this down below. No, seriously, because I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And Paris said she's gonna do this. And you know what, LaShonda? After Woodstock Fruit Festival, I think all of us should go to a restaurant and do this. Like all of us, like 50 of us should go and be like, "Hi, we would like to meet with the chef." And all of us like, "Yeah, so we no, because I mean that is really profound what you said because if you had a child that was allergic to something, you wouldn't be embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed that you're allergic? And it is truly an allergy, right? Like if you ate gluten right now or if you ate meat right now, you would have an allergic reaction, right? Like
Exactly.
you would have a reaction to it. So that is an allergy. And I say it all the time. I have gone to restaurants and I've said to the maitre d', hi, I have my own fruit because I'm allergic to anything that's not fruit. Like I say that sometimes, just joking, but like I always bring my own fruit. I never thought in a million years that I could request a meal, but it's so genius because you look at the menu and they have those things. And it's like, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
love what you do. Wow. I can't wait can we do that together? That's
No, we sure
Let's
can. Sure
let's go
can.
to Awa's restaurant and do that. My best friend works at this
We're gonna
fancy restaurant.
have to call in advance for that one. But yeah, it might be next year before we can get in. But yeah, and we might have to save up for a year before we can afford it.
Yeah, 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 guys. This restaurant, a shot of alcohol is $1,500. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So, okay, back to this is awesome. So now, Lashonda, what is some advice you'd give to people that, well, they are on a raw vegan diet or high raw, and they are not seeing results yet. Like they're not healing, they're not losing weight because, oh, how much weight have you lost?
Um, so here's the funny thing. I weighed myself. So I started July 3rd. I weighed myself, I believe, the second, and then I weighed myself 2 weeks later, and then I didn't weigh again until last week when I went in for some blood work. So I'm about 30 pounds down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Since July,
Yeah, and
right?
I had gained once I got sick. I had gained over the 31 months. I had gained about 35. Yeah.
Mm, yes. And now, so what do you say to people that are not seeing results as fast as they'd like? What would you say to your clients that like are frustrated and want to give up because they're not seeing results and they don't know why?
I think the first thing is you need to do an inventory.
Mm.
You need to check yourself, right?
Check yourself, boo.
Yeah.
It just sounded funny. Boy, you wreck
I know
yourself.
pretty much. You need to check and see because we forget. We forget what we had on 2 days ago. We forget what we had for breakfast 3 days ago if we don't eat the same thing every day, right? So I'm one of those people. Why I eat the same thing every day is because I don't like to log food, right? It's easy if I eat the same thing, the same portions. So the first thing I tell them to do is, okay, I don't want you to tell me what you had last week, but for the next week, everything that hits your mouth, I need you to write it down. Let's see what you're actually eating. Because more than likely, you're probably eating more. You're probably eating a whole avocado every day, and you're not eating a portion of nuts. You're eating like 2 handfuls of nuts. Like, you're eating more food than you actually think you're eating. So that
Yeah,
might be
and
the
more
first.
than you need. Yeah.
Exactly. The second thing would be is to start looking at like some of the other things that are going on, because it's not just about food. It's about, there may be like there might be some some tension that's held in your body because of trauma or illnesses, surgeries. Like, there's other things that could be happening in your life. Stress could cause you not to be losing weight, or could cause you to stall and plateau. So you need to explore those other things. This is not just like, it's about the food, but it's not just about the food. It's a whole life wellness journey here. And you can't just be focused on, okay, this is the food I'm eating. You have to look at all the other outside forces that are, that are part of it. And I will say too, like this, I believe the food was probably 90% of the reason why I feel the way that I do. Well, okay, maybe 75. But the rest of it was stress. I consciously made sure that I was in a low stress environment, and everything and everyone around me, low stress. So I made a conscious decision. I'm a big people pleaser. I don't like to admit it. I've always been that person. And I made a conscious decision to say yes to me, to only do things that bring me joy for the rest of the year. And when I made that decision, that's when I also 2 days later made the decision to become raw, and made other decisions that have allowed me to be in a place and around people that are supporting the lifestyle that I'm living right now. That brought me to you, even though I've been seeing you. I wasn't following you on social media, but I had been seeing you at events and things for years, and never reached out or saw what you were doing. And I joined your community because I needed a community of people who were eating like me, who could support the things that I was doing. And since then, it's just kind of opened up so many things. And now, we met each other,
And now we're friends.
Yes.
I meet all my friends through my community because, that's the point of the community, to bring like-minded people together. And also, I want to say thank you so much, because you're really inspiring. From the first time that you were on a call, you're meal prepping. Like, we're on the call and you're in the kitchen and you're meal prepping. And I'm like, wow, like she's really doing what I want to do, which is I want to meal prep because I know it's going to help me so much with having the meals that I want to have. Because usually I'm just rushing, right? So I just throw a quick salad together, a quick smoothie. And it's no, I want to have these beautiful, I want to have the taco salads and I want to have the more healthy, simple gourmet stuff like you make. But I just don't have time. So then when I saw you meal prepping, I was like, oh yeah, she's really taking advantage of her time. She's doing what she needs to do while she's doing what she wants to do, be on the call, but she's got a meal prep. And I know you told me stories where you're somebody wants to FaceTime and you're like, okay, but I'm going to be meal prepping. Is that okay? You have to prioritize your life. Yeah. And so many of us women are people pleasers, and we're putting our life and our health and our happiness on hold to make somebody else happy, to take care of our kids, to take care of our spouse and our friends and family. And it's backfiring on us. And yeah, eventually you're going to pay with your health. And so now we know. And by the way, we're not saying the word, what LaShonda had, but everybody can guess, what happened in the last few years that, scared the world and everybody had. That's what she had. But she had the long version. Okay. We're not saying it the word, but you already know, you can figure out what she had. And it was very, very serious, very severe. And so, okay. So one last question, but first, somebody in the audience said something interesting. So Jenna said that TD Nutrition is the person they follow that brings juice through TSA with a doctor's note. Whoa. What? I have never, can you elaborate on that, Jenna? Because I need that doctor. I need that note. Imagine if we could bring juice on a plane. Whoa, with a doctor's note. Oh, because I can't even bring salad dressing. I learned you got to mix it. If you try to bring salad dressing alone, they're gonna throw it away. But if you mix it in the salad, you're allowed to have it. Wild. Another tip that I loved about traveling is if you want to bring your juice or water or smoothies, if you freeze it, you're allowed to bring it. You knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you freeze it, but like a doctor's note, will Dr. Goldner, will Brooke Goldner write me a note? What doctor is gonna, maybe Dr. Clapper, who can write this note because I need this.
Yeah,
Oh, that's hilarious.
something else in with traveling too, because I have I haven't traveled on a plane in a while, but I will be for work very soon. And one thing that I did, because I was concerned, I was like, okay, I'm about to go to a place which I knew was very friendly for vegans, which means a lot of processed vegan food, right? I mean, to be honest, that's usually what's in these restaurants. And so the first thing I did is I reached out to the local raw vegan community. I found a raw vegan chef and I let her know, look, I'm going to be in town for a week. And she was like, well, I don't do I'm not a personal chef anymore. She owns like a food truck now. But we had a conversation and she agreed that she would make me meals for the week. So I'll be there, I think, like 6 days. And so she's going to make meals for 3 days for me so I can have fresh meals for 3 days. And then she'll come back on the third day and give me the rest of the meals. And, for me, again, I believe in proactive, purposeful planning. That's my thing. And if I plan for these situations, then I'll be fine. So now I know that when I travel, I'll have food when I get there. And she does I do a lot of dehydrated breads now. I only have them like once a week because dehydrating stuff kind of, it makes you, dehydrated. So you have to
Yeah.
drink more water.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm going to have food to bring back with me. And now when I come back home for a day or two, I won't have to cook because I'm going to have food. So it's helping me while I'm there and when I come back. So, it's just taking a little effort, put a little effort into things. You'd be surprised, what you can find, especially when raw has been tough. Eating outside of the house, raw is very, very tough. I mean, let's just be honest about it. If you're trying to have a meal and not just a piece of fruit, vegetables here or there, or a salad,
Yeah.
right? But there's so many restaurants that have the ability to make raw foods or have raw foods in the menu, and they're just not calling it raw. You just got to do a little bit of due diligence and look and see. If you want to stick to this lifestyle and your why is strong enough, you will figure out a way.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's not easy. I remember going to a sushi place and it's really nice. And I saw all these things on the menu that I could eat. So I asked, hey, could you guys make me a salad? They had no salads on the menu. Could you guys make me a salad with, all the fruit and vegetables you have in the restaurant? Okay. So they came back. The only lettuce they had was watercress. So it was a giant bowl of watercress. I don't know if anybody out there has had watercress. Not ideal as a main green, but I ate what I could and I was like starting to tear, because it was so strong. But you're right. It's not easy, but it is doable with I like what you said. You said proactive, purposeful planning.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, you're good at that and very resourceful. And I think that's what people need in their lives. They need someone to help them understand that it's a mindset and it's a resourcefulness that, you bring into every aspect of your life. And you said it so good too, Lashonda. You said you just need to put some effort in. Like think about all your goals, guys. Just a little effort goes a long way. Okay? So stop acting like you have to write your whole book in one day. No, you got to just write for 5 minutes today. Put a little effort in, boo, because you have all these goals. You want to get fit, you want to lose weight. Lashonda, what is your advice to people that want to form a habit of exercise? Because you're very consistent with exercise and you run triathlons and you've learned how to stay consistent. Can you give somebody out there that needs the advice of how to stay consistent with their fitness routine?
I feel it's the same as anything else. It's you just have to figure out you're not going to stay consistent with anything that you don't have a strong enough why for. If you don't know why you're doing something, you're not going to do it. You're not going to continue doing it. So you have to have a strong enough why, and it can't be 5 pounds I need to lose, or I need to get into this dress, I need to pass the physical for work. That's not a strong enough why. Your strong enough why is going to be, oh, you know what? I can't breathe without an inhaler right now. I would love to be able to breathe on my own, right? I can't walk. I would love to be able to run a 5K, and right now I can't walk to the mailbox. Like, you need a strong enough why. Once you have a strong enough why, that's the first step. The second step is now you need to figure out, okay, well, what are you currently doing that's sabotaging? What habits do you currently have that will sabotage you from succeeding at this particular goal, right? So maybe you're a person who clicks the snooze button 10 times before you get up in the morning. Okay, well then we got to figure out, why do you do that, right? And so, I think that the easy answer here is really and truly, you need to do some self-reflection. And sometimes it's hard to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
And, I believe in the power of other people's voices when they're educated voices and skilled and trained voices to help and assist you through that process. That may look like a coach, that may look like a mentor, it may look like a therapist, right? Find someone else that you can talk to kind of figure out, okay, why is it that I've been trying to lose weight for 10 years and I can't. I've been trying to reach this goal for, so many years, but it seems like there's always an excuse here. I'm trying to stay, vegan or raw, but every time I turn around, my spouse is there with, my favorite meal, and I end up just, giving into it. Why am I like this? How do I change? You gotta do the work with yourself to figure out why. Now, once you do all of that, it's easy.
Yes.
You just need a plan. You need a plan, and you need to treat whatever it is you're doing as a priority in your life. So if it's working out 30 minutes a day, there's no excuse, right? You need to schedule it like you would schedule a doctor's appointment, like you schedule your job, like you schedule the kids' appointments and play dates and all the things that they do. Put it on your calendar. 6 to 6:30 every day, I'm working out. I don't care if someone's FaceTiming me. I don't care if work calls. I don't care
AM or
if the
PM?
kids, either one.
No,
Either
I
one.
thought you meant you.
I'm giving an example.
Yes.
Which is kind of, but but you need to you need to treat it as a priority. And I think what happens is we look at diets, especially when it comes to diets and like losing weight and working out. We treat it as an optional thing, and it's something that we need to do every day in order to be able to live a good life and have a body that's going to be able to sustain the type of life that we want to live. But we treat it as an option, right? Oh yeah, I'm going to start the diet on Monday. You start the diet on Monday, and then I forgot my lunch at home, so I'm just going to go ahead and get lunch from the cafeteria or from the fast food place or the food truck at work, and I messed up the diet. Now I'm going to start next Monday. No, you figure out why you stumbled, and then that next meal, that next day, that next workout, you do better, right? I think, one thing I've seen over the years, and I've helped a lot of people transition to vegan diets, and just not 100%, some of them not 100%. I think what happens is we have a mentality where it's either all or nothing. We're going to be 100% compliant, or we're just not going to be compliant at all. And we never sit back to think what that actually means. We can be vegan for breakfast, and that's going to give us some health benefits more than not being vegan at all, right? We can walk 10 minutes a day. That's better than not doing anything at all. We just need to change our mindset when it comes to our health and our wellness. And I think I'm very hopeful, because over the last 17 plus years that I've been involved in these communities, I've seen the change and the growth. Now we've just got to change our mindset. The food's gotten better. There's more people advocating. There's more resources. Now we just need to change our mindset, and then we'll be fine.
Absolutely. So now, LaShonda, tell everyone, what do you offer for your clients, and what are some resources that you can provide people to help them stay consistent on a mostly or fully plant-based lifestyle?
So the first thing I do is I take a different approach to I help people transition to a vegan diet, and a plant-based vegan diet, because I don't really believe in the junk food vegans, because a lot of the junk food is worse than the regular food, right? Health-wise. So the first thing I do is So I offer a few different courses. I have a transitioning, like a 5-day course is free that people can learn about all different types of veganism. And, we have all these different, levels of veganism, right? And people get confused and they don't know what to eat. So I try to, I teach them about how to transition, what that means, and how to transition to a vegan diet. The second thing I do is I have a community that will support each other in that transition, which also means that, you can ask questions. When you go into the grocery store, a lot of times you don't know what to pick up. This is a new lifestyle. You don't know what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. You're at a restaurant, you don't know what you should do or not. You're making dinner for your family and everyone else in the family eats meat and you don't. How do you not make 2 meals? It's simple. If you have the support and the people around you, it's simple to be able to do those things. And so that's what I provide. And then the other thing, I do have a book too that kind of talks about my raw vegan journey and how to incorporate raw into the diet. Because I've always believed that raw should be the base of a vegan diet, even if you're not 100%. I know I've personally had so many, not just this particular health scare, but I've had so many other health issues over the years that being raw has cleared up, has helped, has improved. And so, those are the things that I offer. I offer a community, I offer a course, and I offer some publications, some books and services too.
Amazing. I will leave all the links below. And if you're here on Instagram, go to Leanda's page, primarily plant-based vegan. Yes? I got it right? Okay. And click the link in her bio. You can get all her resources. I'll leave the links below here on YouTube. And yeah, that is so exciting. And I highly recommend anything Leanda does because she puts her all into everything. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And, she's really dedicated to this lifestyle and sharing it and helping as many people as possible. And I love that. And so the last question, Leanda, is what is your favorite quote? This is random, but I'm going to start asking everyone their favorite quote.
So it's funny that you say that because I have a quote. I'm in a course right now. It's a personal development course. And about 2 weeks ago, someone said something in the course that was really profound to me. And I wrote it down. And right before I logged on, I pulled up the piece of paper with the quote on it.
Oh. That's that fruit life.
Like, I'm going to share this with Jeanette after
Oh my
the call.
God. That is that fruit. That's that fruit life. Okay. What is the quote? Wow. That's
okay.
Cool.
Let me make sure I say it right. Okay. So it says, replacing the uncertainty of unknowing with the certainty that you trust yourself to make good choices.
Read it again, because that's deep.
Replacing the uncertainty of unknowing with the certainty that you trust yourself to make good choices.
Oof.
And so this quote is not just for food, but it's for life too. And it's more about understanding that sometimes we get to a place where we don't trust ourselves. When we really think deeply about it, we just don't trust ourselves. That's why we're not making the decisions. That's why we're not going after the promotions or going after, stepping out into a new job or a new, field or, making friends or trying a new diet or trying to, be a better person. We're not doing these things because we don't trust ourselves. But when we understand that if we trust ourselves, the uncertainty of everything else in the world, it's not uncertainty anymore, because we know that we have ourselves to fall back on. So I love the quote. And so hopefully it resonate with some people.
Oh, that's so good and so profound. And I want to say thank you so much, Leanda. I think you're amazing. I'm so happy we finally did this and we made it work. We had some difficulty in the beginning, but it worked out perfect. You're amazing. Thanks for everything you do. And just for being here and inspiring so many people. And again, I'll leave the links below on YouTube. Go connect with Leanda, join her community, check out her free course. Definitely don't try to change and not do anything. You gotta do something. Nothing's gonna change if you don't do anything. So take the leap, take the step, reach out to Leanda, and she will absolutely change your life. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. If you like this kind of content, give it a thumbs up, share it with a like-minded friend, and comment down below what you thought. Thank you so much, Lashonda. You're amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll see you soon. Bye, boo.
Bye.
Bye, guys.